Welcome back. We are 16% of the way through Metroid Prime, which means that this Let's Play is officially old enough to drive. The game's a lot older than 16. Where do I need to go? I need to get up into this door there. That's where we're going. Which means we're going to take this path over here. We're going to jump up all these convenient snow platforms. The theme today, in this recording, the goal here is to collect 3 important items, which will kind of bring us to the end of the early game in Metroid Prime. Like, these 3 items are kind of the last things you need to get out of the early game and into the mid-game of Metroid Prime, before stuff starts getting really real. First, we need to scan that Bombu there. Every time I say their name, I want to call them Bombchus for obvious reasons. Kind of annoying monsters. We can't kill them yet. There's monsters in this room, though, we can kill. There's one. That's a baby Sheegoth. And do we have to kill? I guess we probably should, just for ease of use. Are you gonna just be in my face? Just all up in my grill? You're dead. Watch your brother over here. Oh, God! Chill out, bro. You don't have to act all cool all the time. Ice puns. Were those really puns? I feel like those weren't really even puns, honestly. Alright. Phendrana drifts. You'll hear the item buzzing sound a lot as we move through Phendrana drifts. There's a lot of backtracking to this area later in the game. For now, we're just going to make a beeline to the stuff we need. Because what this game likes to do is kind of give you an introduction to an area. Kind of give you a sense of how it's going to be laid out and what kind of monsters you'll fight in it. And then later make you do the full run in the area, fight a boss and everything. I pushed the shoot button instead of the jump button, so we're doing this room again. I do get confused sometimes, because in this game the shoot button is the A button and the jump button is the B button, which would be sacrilegious on most controllers, but the GameCube controller doesn't really have like a face button layout, like the standard diamond layout. It has the A button as your main button, is kind of in the center, and then 3 orbiting buttons around it. So it's a little bit different than what you might be used to. But my head always wants this A button to be the jump button. But in Metroid Prime, it's not. A button is your shoot button. This was kind of before the trigger buttons were the standard fire buttons in first-person shooters. Okay, so now we're back out here into the main plaza. Now we're going to go into the other half of the ice ruins here. We have these guys already, so we just clear this room. We don't need to worry about these guys. They is bombing us. But that's to be expected. I mean, you know. What do I need in this room? Well, first we need to kill some... We need to kill good old Johnson and his brother Jimson. Johnson and Jimson. They're my favorites. Alright, they're dead. There is a bad guy in here that we need to scan, but I think they're at the top of the area. And I need to remember how to get up there first. In fact, there's lots of things we're going to scan in this room, actually. We better make sure that I'm going to do my scan list correctly. Let's get the spreadsheet on my screen there. Not on your screen, on my screen. You don't want to see a spreadsheet. I don't have room to splice spreadsheet footage into this Let's Play. Actually, can I get the bats from down here? I guess not. Looks like we're going over here, then. We're going to have to dangle-de-do our way across. There should be some Chozo text. That's not a blow-up wall. It's okay. I'm just a little bit lost. I could check my map and... Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So there's our Chozo texts. And I'm pretty sure I can get these bats. Yeah, there they are. Alright, cool. We got the Shriek Bats. We got the Chozo stuff, and now we need to get this stalactite up there. Booyah! I want to go in here. No, there's not an opening up there. Can't jump high enough to get there yet. We need to reach a place where we can shoot down that stalactite is our eventual goal here. And again, you may or may not hear some item buzzing as we progress through this area because there are items hidden all over Phendrana that you cannot collect yet. They require, like, the stalactite is above us up here somewhere, and we're going to use it. Oh, look at that. That little hole over there looks promising. Let's go in here. Is this, this room's not helpful at all, is it? This is not a helpful room, even in the slightest. We can destroy this at least. Oh, you know what? No, we're not destroying a stalactite yet. Okay, I see what I'm getting confused with. Because if you look at the map, there's a purple door that we're going to open. To reach that purple door, we need a stalactite. I'm just getting ahead of myself. I just need to scan it for now. And I've done that. We've scanned correctly, kids. I don't know how you can scan incorrectly. I guess if you get killed as a result of scanning a monster that then murders you, that could be constituted as incorrectly. But we haven't done that. This was the last Chozo lore that I found when I played this game the first time. I had all the Chozo lores except for one, and I had to kind of scour the entire game world to find it. These little baby Shigas, their deaths are particularly violent. The way you have to, like, blow up parts of their body repeatedly. Scan this and get the platforms in place. Very, very nice. Alright, now we can just jump on across. Super convenient platforms. Actually not super convenient because they do sink after you jump on them. And this little room here drove me crazy the first time I played the game, and I'll show you what I mean on the map after this little cutscene where I acquire the boost ball, which is the closest this game gets to a speed booster. Because they really didn't want you running around at 3,000 miles an hour because they looked into the future and saw Sonic games in 3D and said, oh, that's a bad idea. So instead of giving you a speed booster, they give you a boost ball, which is a little more controllable. But you look at the map here, we're in Phendrana Canyon. It's a pretty big map, and it's got this big vertical tower here. And you only get to explore this bottom floor of this tower, the whole top of the tower, like that's it, there's nothing else. But because you can never get back to this room when you jump down, the first time I played the game, I thought for sure I had missed something important there, like an item or a scan or something, and I was a little bit salty about how, hey, you can miss items in this game because you can't get back to that room. But as it turns out, there's nothing in that room. I do think it's a little bit misleading design to have a room that's still on the map and accessible. Inaccessible, but still on your map. Like, I do think that's a little sketchy. But it's a minor sin when compared to some other stuff Metroid games have done in the past. And not just Metroid games, but other Metroidvania style games. These freeform... I guess Metroid Prime's not really a Metroidvania. I mean, I don't really know the dictionary, like, textbook definition of Metroidvania, but to me, Metroidvania suggests a 2D side-scroller. Like, that's one of the defining characteristics of a Metroidvania. So Metroid Prime doesn't really count. It's just kind of a free-form exploration game, like a 3D adventure game. Like, if Metroid Prime is a Metroidvania, what's stopping, say, Zelda Ocarina of Time from being a Metroidvania? You know, like, where do you draw that line? There's lots of games where you have to explore the world's map and find things and do things and break things. So Metroidvania, to me, really does suggest a 2D side-scroller game, which, of course, Prime isn't. But it tends to get lumped in with Metroidvanias because it's a Metroid game. So yeah, we're done in Phendrana for now. All we got was that one item, the boost ball. And now that we have the boost ball, there's a couple important items we can collect. Back in previous areas. One of which is really important. And this is one part of Metroid Prime that I'm not real sure that I like. Because the way this works, the way this video is going to play out, and probably the next video, it's probably going to take 2 videos to get through this session. But you go to Phendrana to get the thing, to get the boost ball. So you can go out of Phendrana and use the boost ball to get another thing. So you can go back to Phendrana and get another thing. And like, it's not terrible game design. Your first time through the game, at least, it's pretty intuitive the way the game kind of funnels you around the world, especially if you have the hints turned on, because eventually if you pick up the boost ball, you get kind of lost. Like, you get stuck in Phendrana and you don't really know where to go next. Eventually the hint will pop up and say, hey, we found a half pipe for you to use the boost ball. Because half pipe, you know, Samus gets to, you know, shred sick kicks. It's her Tony Hawk item. That's the lava. I'm burning alive. Let's not burn alive. Let's not burn alive. Let's wait for the fire to go away and then jump. There we go. At the end of the game, actually in the mid game and then again towards the end of the game, we'll do pretty much a full run through. Is this Fiery Shores? It is. I need to be on the lookout for a item here. We're going to basically do a full run of Magmoor, and by then we'll be well enough equipped that we can just kind of run through the whole dungeon and just ignore all the threats. We're not there yet, though, and my brain, because I did a test play of this game earlier this week, my brain kind of thinks we're there. I just jumped into the lava there. It's so I just wanted to. I needed to exfoliate is the problem. Here, have a bomb. Okay, so we need to go. I know there's a missile expansion in this room because my spreadsheet tells me so, but I don't remember where in this room it is. Like, I don't remember this particular missile pack at this moment in time. I'm sure something will click. Oh, I do remember now. Never mind. We go behind these boxes here and into this little morph ball maze. Boop. 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 Now, there's lots of places in the game where you do morph ball mazes and you're kind of locked into the path. Like, you get, like, Samus kind of rolling in between 2 pipes or something, so it's real easy to stay in the maze. It's actually impossible to pop out. But this part of the maze has no walls, and you don't want to fall in the lava. Good to go. Alright, cool. So we can just go back through now. So I do wish that, like, the whole thing where you go to a level to get the thing so you can leave the level and get another thing so you can go back and clear the level where you got the first thing, that's something that Metroid Prime does a couple of times throughout the game. And I kind of wish that it didn't, because on replays, unless you're using all the crazy sequence break glitches, there's no way to sequence break this game legitimately. I really thought that wouldn't happen. I really thought I'd be safe there, because this is one of those areas where it has a little morph ball tunnel for you. There you go. As far as I know, there's no way to sequence break this game legitimately. Sequence breaking was not part of the design doc of Metroid Prime. They had a sequence of items they wanted you to get, and you have to get them in that order. It's not incredibly super linear like Metroid Fusion, because if you do poke around in areas you're not supposed to be in yet, you can usually find something. There's usually something to locate. In the form of like an energy tank or a missile pack or something. One place in particular, before you get the gravity suit in this game, and we're getting ahead of ourselves, but it does serve my point, so I'm going to just go ahead and say it anyway. Is this where we want? This is where we want to be. Yes, we need to go out. Right, the route to Magmoor is in the bottom of this canyon, and we need to go out about the middle. So let's just head on up. The same room, this canyon here connects both to Magmoor and Chozo Ruins. We've made it back to Talon Overworld now. Yeah, there's a section later in the game where you get the gravity suit. And the game does not funnel you towards the area with the gravity suit. That's not, like, if you just kind of follow the path of the game, you get an item that opens a certain door, and then behind that door is Where's the blood flower that we scanned much earlier in the game? What was I lost my train of thought. There's a boost ball half pipe here we have to make use of. Yeah, you get an item, you open a door, and that door leads to a total underwater area, basically. And it takes a long time to navigate and successfully get through that area without the gravity suit, but it's possible. You can totally do stuff there. You can explore the whole area. It'll take you an hour and a half, but you can do it, and then when you get to the end, you reach a part where you cannot progress anymore without the gravity suit. And at that point, the game says, can't go any further here, can't, you know, the liquid's too harsh or whatever. But, and that, if you have the hints turned on, the game then says, oh, hey, we found your gravity suit for you. We know where you're going. This is where we want to go in here. This should be the alcove. This is the gully. Where's the alcove? Hold on, I think I missed an item here. Yes, I definitely missed an item. I definitely missed an item here. Oh, you know what? We're gonna have to go back and look for it because I can't make that jump now. This is the gully. Oh no, I know what I'm doing. Oh my god, I'm not looking for missile expansion. I'm looking for. I'm trying to tell a story and read my spreadsheet at the same time, and I can barely read as it is. So. So yeah, if you go to that underwater area before you get the gravity suit, which the game kind of funnels you towards, space jump boots, that's in the alcove. Now I know where I'm going. You can go through this big underwater area, and it's very challenging, and you eventually reach a point where you can't progress anymore, but at that point, there's an energy tank that you can get. And it's about that time that if you have hints turned on, we can double jump now, by the way, that's what space jump does in this game. If you have hints turned on, it's about that time that the game takes pity on you and like kind of tells you where to go next. And it's way out of the way. But you wouldn't think to go way out of the way at first. There's the missile expansion. One more item that we don't really need to get right now, but I would like to get, just to get some scans and stuff out of the way, is we went up to this door earlier, which is really easy to reach now that we have space jump. Not from that side, though. We still have to come around from this side. So the game doesn't allow sequence breaking by default. You really have to break the game to sequence break. You really have to rely on glitches, and depending on what version of the game you have, not every glitch is available to you. This is a game where you really have to know ahead of time what version of the game you're playing so you can know which glitches are available, if you're the kind of person who likes the glitches, you know. For example, I mentioned the scanning boost jump thing much earlier, and if you're not on the original GameCube pressing of the disc, you cannot use it. We can get in this room now. And, you know, just some scans in here. Just some scans. That's all. Can we open the door, please? I'm assuming these doors don't always open when you shoot them right away because it's loading the next zone in. But there's Chozo lore here. And there's Chozo lore here. So we can mark both of those off. And the music gets all epic and foreboding here. And here's our first of 12 artifacts. Like I mentioned earlier, the crux of the game is collecting these 12 Chozo artifacts and coming back to this room. That's the main goal of your game. And the first artifact is just sitting here, so really you only have to hunt down 11. And then throughout the game, the more and more you progress in the game, coming back to this room, you get hints to where the other artifacts are hidden. And a lot of these hints are moot. Like, for example, well, this hint says, let's see, a sun chamber high atop a ruined home became the nest of a great beast, blah, blah, blah. Sun chamber is the room where we fought Flagra. So we'll go back to the sun chamber later to get an artifact. Most of these artifacts, though, you can't get until, like, the end game. Anyway, you need basically, like, all the end game items to retrieve several of the artifacts. So, we uncovered one artifact in a previous video, which we couldn't get without the space jump. We could break the pillar that the artifact was hiding in, but we couldn't actually jump over and get it yet. A lot of artifacts are like that. You can find their locations, but you can't actually reach them your first or sometimes even second time through an area. Where am I going next? Oh yeah, back to Magmoor, because we went to Phendrana to get the thing, so we can come here to get the thing, so we can go back to Phendrana to get the next thing. We needed Boost Ball to get the space jump, and we need the space jump to go back to Phendrana and do any more damage there. So we are going to hit the ship, because I do notice that my energy tanks are looking a little bit 270, if you follow me. So we will hit that. I guess we might as well save while we're here. The saving doesn't matter right now, because if like a lightning strikes and my house blows up and I lose the save or whatever, or if I lose this recording, because I can't copy save files in Metroid Prime, I have to replay the whole game anyway from the beginning, and I want to go this way because we're going back to Magmoor now. Shoutouts to Not a Buttface for sponsoring this video, and to everybody who helps make my channel possible by supporting me on Patreon.